Good evening. Welcome in the Balie. Great that you're all here on this sunny day, on this proud day that we have here in Amsterdam. I'm really proud that on behalf of the Balie, I can welcome many great artists. We opened a fantastic exhibition yesterday with a lot of artists present. And because we have so many important voices, and if you follow the news the last couple of days, there has been so much going on that I think we have a very special evening tonight. You have a lot of artists, curators, journalists who are going to speak tonight to you. Alexander Gubsky from the Moscow Times will do the interviews. And at the end, there will also be room for your questions. And this program is being recorded so that people outside of the Netherlands can also follow. So wait for the microphone until you get a question, because then people outside this room can also hear. I wish you a great evening and give a warm welcome for Alexander.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. It's great to see the whole room in August. Yes, you have to relax somewhere. But you decided to visit this exhibition, this event. Definitely, topics would be maybe not so, how to say, fun or easy. But anyway, so thank you very much for coming. Yeah, that's really a great achievement for the, I would say, the whole society. Yes, for the society, because this is definitely the biggest what we open today. This is the biggest exhibition of Russian-speaking artists, anti-war and anti-totalitarian. And we did it only in 4 months. 150 original artworks from artists from 25 different countries, and so we are lucky that we have some of these artists today and special guests. And luckily we had this great day 2 days ago when some Russian politicians and artists were released. And first I want to invite to this stage Olga Romanova and Vladimir Shalamov, who is curator of this exhibition. Vladimir, please join us. And Olga, she's also my former colleague, a journalist, and now Olga is fortunately or unfortunately the best expert about Russian political and so prisoners. So Olga, I want to give you the microphone and the speech. Please tell us what's the current situation with freedom and freedom of expression in Russia.
Hi everyone. I'm a head of Russian Behind Bars Foundation. I'm a journalist and human rights defender. And I prepared a long speech, but let it stay on paper. Because it's another situation. I'm so glad to see all of us, and I think that any art objects here are more powerful than any words. And our political prisoners received this week more stronger than any words too. And I feel that all of us connected, and it's true. And thank you so much to Russian and Ukrainian artists Thank you. I believe that Russia will be free. And I think that every day, every hour, we need to remember about other political prisoners in Russia, Ukrainian prisoners also. Das war's.
But in numbers, can you give us some numbers and some dynamics? Because some people say that for top level of people, the situation was for general level the situation even worse with political prisoners that it was in late Soviet Union during Brezhnev time. Is it true or not? We have more political prisoners now than Soviet Union.
It's not true. Today we have another situation. You see, it's now it's we can celebrate a 50-year бульдозерная выставка. Бульдозерная выставка.
Yes. Bulldozer exhibition.
Bulldozer exhibition. It's now 50 years, ago.
So that was exhibition of also not official artists, which was really after a few days destroyed by bulldozers because communists decided it's not an art but just provocation, etc.
Oscar Rabin, one art was arrested. One. Now I think we have about 10 artists, Russian artists in Russian prisoners, and about 20 Ukrainian artists in Russian prisoners. And more than 9,000 Ukrainian prisoners in военнопленные, hostages and цивильные заручники and гражданские похищенные.
Civil kidnapped people,
Yeah. It's true, but it's несравнимая ситуация с Советским Союзом.
Yes, we can't compare. Okay, but how do you see will the situation getting worse, especially against artists? We're here at art exhibition, so first artist was released, Sasha Skochilenko, a few days ago. Others are in prison. What does it mean?
For example, Vasily Slonov. For example, he was arrested about
2 months ago.
10 months ago, for example. And artist Tatiana Titnyo from Tomsk, and она обвинена в государственной измене, получила 9 лет.
Yeah, she was accused as state action against state, as he was in prison for 9 years.
Well, it was, may interrupt you, it was in late March, beginning of April, the case that's now known as the case against the artist that started with those who kind of knew ex-husband of Nadezhda Skochilenko,
Piotr
Verzilov, and many artists got under pressure in Russia, and some of them they are still persecuted, and some of the artists that actually participated in our latest exhibition here in Amsterdam, they have certain risks that got really higher because of that case, and Still more than 20 artists in Russia are now under the signature of non-подписка невыезда.
Well, yeah, it's obligation not to leave
the country.
And there's no name here.
Yeah. Well, Nadia will talk about that later because she knows some of that artists personally.
Yeah, but so my next question to you, well, how this exhibition was possible, and what do you see as the main achievement for this exhibition?
Well, the main achievement it was opened today, and obviously, we have several goals in the frames of our project since we began it last September, and one is to represent art of Russian dissident artists. Another one is to develop a market for them, which they lost in Russia, obviously, and haven't gained in Europe and elsewhere yet. So we're about to build up this market, and we kind of succeeded in that because we had some sales in February when we made an exhibition at Fry Palace, and yesterday was kind of unofficial opening, let's say, just like a cocktail for artists with few friends, and we already sold some artworks, which is kind of cool. The exhibition wasn't started yet, so it's a good achievement because despite all that speeches that Russian artists are trying to victimize themselves, while it's obviously the biggest problem right now is that Russia invaded Ukraine, which is obviously true. But the thing is that Russian artists, as I believe, are victims of this war as well, because they sacrificed a lot by not being silent, and by speaking out, and by continuing producing. That would be the judgment of the moment, but it's not how it is. They want to speak out, and we need to bring them the platform to do that. So that was the goal for the entire project and this exhibition as well. And we are grateful for the Balie for giving us this opportunity, because we never had an opportunity like this scale to produce it in such a well-known art space. And yeah, I am pretty sure that a lot of both Russian local community and Netherlands community and tourists that visit Amsterdam during August will witness that. And I'm actually quite happy for all of you guys that you are witnessing it right now, because I believe that it's history. I really understand that all the allegations, you know.
Great, thank you. Artworks delivered from 25 different countries, including Russia and Ukraine. Which were the most difficult cases to have them here?
Well, I can't tell you the most difficult cases because they're all secret.
Okay, not yeah. So secret, yes, not to tell about all ways how to deliver.
The hardest was not to make artists feel disappointed, you know, because the Balie is a very cool and iconic art venue, but it's honestly not that suitable for this kind of exhibitions. We are missing a lot of lighting. I mean, those of you who have been to who have seen the exposition notice that, many artists who arrived, they were a bit surprised by the exposition itself, and I understand that each one of them, they all want best for themselves, and we all want better, to match all their expectations is really the hardest thing. Then you know that during the preparations for the exhibition, your media was labeled undesirable in Russia, which multiplied risks for everybody who were involved in this project.
Of organizations like myself, it means 6 years in prison in Russia, but for those who just interact with undesirable organization, it's 4 years of prison. So for artists now in Russia, unfortunately, it's 4 years of prison. So you also have to understand that they are brave.
We spoke with some lawyers regarding that, yeah, and they assured us that it's really hard to,
yes, to prove. But anyway, the risk is real anyway. And later
because
we'll
it's
talk
not
about
because the Russian existing laws are like that. It's just because that they came up specially for this exhibition some of them are exhibiting anonymously. And some of them even resigned actually last minute because they thought that the risk is too high for them. But that was just like, I would say, 2% of all. And this shows the level of courage in the community. And going back to the last question, like one of the goals is building a community of such artists that are in exile, that are dissident. And in February, we brought some of them to Amsterdam, and they met for the first time. Now we brought some same artists, but we invited some new ones, and
She really just arrived 2 hours ago, just before the event. It's 2 hours ago, just before the event. It's a miracle there was no days for Nadezhda, but so thank you very much one more time that you are with us. I will translate. I will ask questions in Russian. Надежда, когда я уезжал из России, моя мама мне говорила, может быть, ты не будешь это делать, может, ты не будешь заниматься чем ты занимаешься, давай просто жить спокойно. Я говорю, что нет, извини, спокойно жить уже невозможно, и нужно выбирать свой путь. Вы с Сашей когда-нибудь обсуждали то, что она делает, зачем она это делает, нужно ли это делать, что она отвечала? И как? Well, an activist artist with her anti-military, anti-war works, and does Nadezhda accept this or oppose that, etc.?
Просто в нашей семье это было вообще естественным. Ты как бы что думаешь, то и говоришь. Ты можешь...
In our family it was and is absolutely normal. You can say and you can do everything you want.
И ты можешь сказать посторонним людям о том, что они, например, ты думаешь по-другому и не считаешь это, что это что-то такое неестественное. Но как бы ты просто доносишь свое мнение до людей, которые, может быть, этого не знают.
And you can even tell to people, to unknown people, not from your family, that you think opposite way, and they simply cannot understand this and have known that before.
И Саша предположила, что в магазин ходят люди, например, которые действительно, у них нет других источников, что происходит в Украине, и она, может быть, решила таким вот способом, ну хотя бы чтобы они задумались, может быть, действительно существует еще что-то другое, кроме того, что они видят и слышат.
And that was Sasha's idea, that was a normal supermarket, and she thought that maybe these people, they haven't had any other source of information. That was her, that's why she decided to give them information in this way, to exchange price tags to anti-military drawings.
И у Саши, кроме интернета, например, были друзья, которые находились в Украине в этот момент, и они звонили, что их бомбят, и они сидят в укрытиях.
И друзья Саши, sorry, I'm a bit stressed as well. So and her friends were in Ukraine and that time, and they called her and told that Russians bombarded them.
И она получала от них такие сообщения, что сделайте что-нибудь, остановите вот это все.
Yeah, and my Ukrainian friends told me the same. Do something, help. You need to stop. Do something to stop this.
Вот. А так как Саша очень миролюбивый человек, она против любых насилия, убийства, она вот просто в интернете она нашла макеты этих ценников, она даже не автор, но ей было близко то, что на них написано. Она решила, что таким образом можно донести.
No, and she's a very peaceful person, Sasha, and she just found this design of this price tags, and she decided to exchange them, just to deliver information, to deliver the truth to other people.
Вот. И тогда, конечно, и даже и сейчас, конечно, это просто ее мнение, за которое она не должна была получить уголовное дело 7 лет.
And of course, and it is her personal opinion, and first, no one can be proclaimed guilty and imprisoned for 7 years just for giving his opinion.
И поэтому обсуждать, что я могу сказать, сказать маме, которая учила говорить всю правду, что мама, я пойду скажу правду, можно ли это сделать, это, конечно, это было невозможно.
Yeah, and that's why there was no choice when a mom tells a kid, tell truth every time, and then it's simply not possible to one day say, don't tell truth anymore, because it's too risky.
Ну вот, и никто не предполагал, что, конечно, Саша окажется в тюрьме. И не только Саша. Теперь мы знаем очень много людей, которые просто за разговор по телефону, за какие-то комментарии в социальных сетях, которые просто против войны, против вот этого убийства, вот этого зверства, если они что-то где-то написали и даже просто сказали на улице, они, к сожалению, преследуются, и мы знаем, что около 1000 людей, именно антивоенные уже позиции, они находятся в тюрьме.
And we know now that more than 1,000 people are arrested because of their anti-war position. That's just normal people, but they are prosecuted only because their anti-war statements, even anti-war statement in private conversation, private telephone conversation. This is the reality in Russia.
И они почти все признаются политическими заключенными, потому что это действительно миролюбивые люди. И даже те, кто делает вот эти акты с поджиганием военкоматов, они, они смотрят, чтобы никого не было и никого не повредить. Это просто вот акт протеста против войны.
And so almost all these people, they prove that they are political prisoners. Even those who try to act, to have some fire, etc. They want just to protest, not to make any damage, any pain to people.
Вот, и, мы даже знаем, если человек просто против войны, и его, вот, например, как Женю Беркович со Светланой Петричук, их могут вот просто придумать, что вот за такой спектакль их, просто они опасные люди, творческие люди опасны для России, yes. И они сидят в тюрьме.
And another case, yes, it's Zhenya Berkovich and Petrichuk that to artists and directors, they're imprisoned only because of their play, and so the system decided that they're too dangerous for the system itself. And
Потому что творческий человек, он думает немножко по-другому и показывает, что он против режима вот такими методами, в принципе, доступны другим людям. И я считаю, это влияет на сознание человека. Вот искусство, оно больше даже влияет, чем прочитать текст вот этой картинки. И поэтому их вот преследуют даже больше, мне кажется, и музыкантов.
Yeah, and artists, they're really dangerous for the system. That's why they suppressed a lot, because their art really can affect.
Может, кто-то что-то спросить?
Да, конечно, да. Я хочу вас спросить, как вы нашли Сашу, как ее состояние и Как вы собираетесь жить дальше? So my question, what was Sasha mood and what are you going to do next?
Ну, Саша, конечно, была очень в таком, ну, даже не эйфория, я не знаю, как это назвать слово, потому что это было очень все неожиданно и быстро, и никто этого не ожидал.
Sasha was in even more than euphoria because it was completely unexpected and she hasn't expected that.
Вот. И, ну, внешне мне она показалась, ну, как бы, я увидела болезненный вид, несмотря вот на улыбку, на ее, вот, ну, она просто счастлива от того, что она действительно на свободе.
I found her ill, but she's really happy to be, well, free to be free and freedom, yeah.
Да, потому что свобода, ну вот в нашей семье свобода, это, ну, пожалуй, вот свобода, любовь, жизнь, это такие ценности, самое главное, я считаю, это вот для всех.
Yes, in our family, freedom, life, and free life, these are main values for us.
Да, и за них, вот, как Саша вот пока сидела в тюрьме, она говорила, что ей не страшно отсидеть там сколько-то лет за свои именно, извините, у меня сегодня в голове, конечно.
Убеждения.
Да, за свои убеждения, что это для нее очень важно. Самое важное, пожалуй.
And yes, Sasha has said that she's ready to stay in prison because of her beliefs, but yeah. Luckily, she's now free. Of course, you would have time later to ask questions to Nadezhda as well. So, but thank you very much. Спасибо большое, Надежда. We have two artists today with us in the panel. Let me invite Nadia Raplin and Filipenko. Please sit. We had this discussion before, so yesterday and today. Is this art which we represented here, is it pessimistic or optimistic? What can it tell us? What can we learn? What can we understood from this art? Today's I wear Nadia's maybe most famous art. It's fucking too late to draw. And Nadia, this is my question to you. Do you really feel it's too late, too fucking late to draw?
Well, I think for me, yes, because after immigration, I kind of lost sense. Why am I really doing it? Why should I do that? Because when we were in Russia and were making this underground exhibition, it was kind of brave, and to these exhibitions came people who are living in the same cities with us, like even visited the same school with me, and I felt like I can change something, and yeah, I do something brave. But in immigration, it's like, why should I? What am I really doing? Yeah, but there are many other kinds of protests, and I wanted to say that it's never late to fight. It's never late to help people. Never late to donate, to help Ukrainian people, to help people leave places where it's not safe anymore. Yeah, and never late
to share and never late to teach, because you are teaching Ukrainian kids now in Berlin, yes?
Yeah, it's one of my jobs also. So yeah, for me it's kind of too late to draw, but yeah, not too late to help
Yeah, but okay, being your fun, so I'm still waiting for your new artwork. Thank you very much. And we have Filipenko here. We are discussing a bit that we are now under risk, possible criminal investigation, etc. But Filipenko, he is already in criminal investigation. Yes, he accused of vandalism because of what? Political vandalism по причине политической ненависти. Yeah, it's vandalism because of political intolerance. It's how much? 3 years in prison?
Да, до 3 лет.
Yes, up to 3 years in prison. But luckily, Philip not in Russian prison. He spent how much? A month? Месяц в тюрьме?
Да.
Yes, he spent a month in prison, but then, miracle, he was released for a few days, and he was clever and brave enough to escape Russia, and well, now he's here, and we can enjoy Philippe's artworks. You will see 2 of his artworks in here in this exhibition, and one of this work is so Philip. Yes, but my question, first question. How did you escape, and what can you tell about, well, what can you tell about this case? Что вы можете рассказать про это, но чтобы еще и не подставить других людей, которые вам помогли уехать? Это было страшно, это было романтично или... То есть что?
Я понял вопрос.
Да.
Ну, да, вся эта история с самых первых дней, я ее предпочел воспринимать как интерактивный рассказ или постановку, или кино, в которой я принимаю участие в качестве главного персонажа.
So since the beginning, I decided to accept the situation as immersive show where I am a main hero.
И, собственно, ровно с той минуты, когда я попал в руки ФСБшников в аэропорту Домодедово, которые меня арестовали по прилету из Грузии, я понял, что лучшее, что я могу сделать из этой ситуации, это начать ее воспринимать иначе, как обычный задержанный, арестованный, и попробовать ее конвертировать в творческое русло.
So since the first moment when I was detained in airport, when I arrived from Georgia to Russia, I decided to act not as normal arrested people, but as an artist who can convert this situation, to channel this situation into a positive way, or creative way.
И когда я уже попал непосредственно за решетку, где провел сначала 15 суток, потом еще 15 суток, в итоге месяц, лучшее, что можно было сделать, это превратить арест и место своего заключения в творческую арт-резиденцию.
So I spent 15 days, then another 15 days in a prison, and the best what I can do is to convert this camera into an art residence.
Я превратил свою камеру в творческую студию. Предметы, которые меня окружали в произведении искусства, а своих сокамерников и сотрудников полиции в первых зрителей и критиков.
So the stuff in the camera became my requisite, yes, and the other people who were in prison, they became my first critics.
Более того, я хотел даже непосредственно, находясь в заключении, провести онлайн-аукцион, и на котором продать те работы, которые я сделал в камере из простыней, на которых спал.
Yeah, so Philip made 2 artworks from a blank sheet in the camera, 2 artworks, and his intention was to sell it online from a camera from a prison to outside.
Но поскольку в России камеры, в которых сидят вот такие политические активисты, они просматриваются и прослушиваются, то, видимо, такой наглости сотрудники полиции уже не могли вытерпеть, поэтому в следующие пару дней у меня изъяли всю технику.
Yeah, but in cameras in prison where political prisoners, there are video cameras, video surveillance, and they finally realized what he's going to do, what he was going to do, and yes, they confiscated all stuff, all equipment, and all both artworks as well.
И далее, уже когда я прошел вот этот месячный срок ареста, я вышел на свободу, за мной была слежка в течение нескольких дней, через которые ко мне внезапно пришли люди в масках, грубо меня задержали, и в моей квартире-студии прошли обыски.
So after a few days, when Philippe was released, he was followed by police agents, and finally they came into his studio and his apartment, and they also confiscated techniques and also artworks.
И после обысков, собственно, я должен был быть подвергнут допросу, отвезен на допрос, но внезапно мне дали возможность пойти домой и просто обязали прийти на допрос через 3 дня. И, собственно, по совету правозащитников и своих друзей было принято единственное верное решение — это уехать из страны.
Yeah, so generally, Philippe must be detained again for questioning and then
For interrogation.
Yes, but we don't know why. It was just a luck. Philippe was released again for 3 days. They just took his passports, and he took the only clever decision is to escape.
Мое мнение, что вот у меня забрали паспорт, чтобы как будто бы у меня не было возможности уехать из страны, но тем не менее отпустили, было сделано только для того, чтобы перестраховаться, чтобы сотрудников полиции не обвинили в том, что они свободно дали мне сбежать из страны.
Yeah, so my opinion, they gave me a chance to escape. They took my passports to secure themselves, but the idea was, okay, you can leave if you're smart enough. Yeah.
И вообще в России, ну, по крайней мере, еще год назад, потому что все очень меняется, наблюдалась практика, когда неугодным активистам, будь то художники, либо просто гражданские активисты, давалась возможность уехать, чтобы не заводить на них дело, не сажать в тюрьму, просто потому что такие кейсы вызывают большее внимание со стороны медиа и общественности.
Yeah, and Philippe believes, and there were a few cases when activists, the system allowed them to leave because these arrests of activists, of well-known public person, they create a real opposition and boiling in society and the system. In some cases, they prefer to let people go, not to arrest them and imprison them.
Так что теперь я здесь, и вот возвращаясь, собственно, к началу, я продолжаю творить, и, по сути, до сих пор еду вот на том топливе, которое дала мне все это приключение, арест, задержание, арест, затем вот эти обыски, допросы. Я конвертировал это в вдохновение, которое затем выплескивается в творческие работы и творческие жесты.
Yes. Now I'm here, I'm continue to create, and I'm still moving on the fuel which I received being arrested and prosecuted, etc. But I convert this negative emotion into positive emotions, which gives me forces to continue. Yeah. Филипп, большое спасибо. У Филиппа есть отличная работа. Sorry. Philippe presents here 2 great art pieces. Please find them the right explanation, because we're a little bit more out of time. They are great, and Philippe also here, he will explain twice a week, Saturday and Sunday. We have curators exhibition please come and we will tell you much more about these artworks. Thank you very much. Спасибо. We have our two last guests today, Paul Alexander, Dutch journalist, and Sergei Khadinsky, yes, member of European Parliament. In the first part of our roundtable, we heard some happy end stories, but unfortunately, not everything is so good and so optimistic. And so, Paul, you are a friend, and you are also a collector of Pavel Krishevich, Russian artist, who was also accused to be an enemy of the state and imprisoned, and he was not included in this package. And we know that much more artists still also in prison. What do you think? Why is still that?
Well, first of all, he was arrested before the outbreak of the war, so in June or July 2021. And he was arrested for his art performances, his political art performances in the streets of Moscow and St. Petersburg. I believe there are some pictures that are going to be shown. He had really spectacular performances. This is his art. And he will be released also in January. So he got 5 years of penal colony as a sentence. So maybe, and his case didn't attract as much attention as all the other cases of the persons, the political prisoners who are released by now. So that may also be the case in Pavel Krishevich's case. But he will be free if everything goes well in January. But you don't know in nowadays Russia, of course, if they don't add some new sentence to your sentence. So let's hope.
Yeah, but can you exchange some letters, some communications with him?
Yes, it's a pity Olga Romanova didn't. She knows everything about Russian prison system, and I was in touch with her. And she got me in touch with Russians in Russia who have a Facebook group, and they exchange letters from political prisoners in this group. And so there you can read everything they can write to their to human rights activists or to their relatives. So you learn in these letters, you learn a lot about the life of political prisoners, amongst really severe criminals in prison. So it's really interesting stuff to read. And they, many of these political prisoners also, they make drawings on their letters. And so in this group, I came across the drawings of Pavel Krishevich, and I was writing about political prisoners. So I asked my editor to print these pictures along with it. And I got in touch with the support group in Moscow for Pavel Krishevich, and they sent me actually much more paintings he made, and he made them all in prison also. And when he was arrested in 2021, the first thing he decided to do was to make paintings of life in actually he was sitting in Butyrka, which is really an infamous Moscow prison where Solzhenitsyn has been imprisoned, and Mayakovsky and Mandelstam, all famous names. And so he decided to draw life of the prison, and he made more than 1,200 drawings or paintings like this in the 3 years he is serving now. and he is using actually materials he finds in prison. So you see, he is using also his own blood, all the dark red colors, that's his own blood. With a nail, he pinches in his finger and he uses, so he uses really the material in the prison, and he knows ways to smuggle them out of the prison. I cannot be specific about it, not to endanger his group of friends and supporters. And they were sent by Russian mail abroad. And it was a long journey because there is no direct mail service between Russia and European countries, I believe. Anyway, not with the Netherlands. So first and I could follow the package through a Russian tracking service. So first it went to Serbia and it was held there for 3 weeks, and then it got lost in Dutch mail actually. So it took 1 month to get in Holland, and then it took 1 month, to be lost somewhere in the cellars of Dutch mail. And then journalists started to call PostNL and saying, well, this is outrageous, it's a scandal. And then someone delivered it to me personally. So they searched their own sellers for this package. So it was a long way to get to Holland, all these pictures. This is Pavel Krišević with, something he sued, because when you get in court, you can choose your own costume. You and this is, by the way, also Pavel Krišević work.
Okay, thank you very much, Alexander. Okay. Thank you. Sergey, I have 2 questions to you. First, I think that Russian artists, anti-war artists, they are even in more danger and more risk here, because they also cannot return to Russia because of their position. Their art is public. They are, also enemy of the state, and art is powerful. So what is, and so for journalists, I see that some European countries, they created law to allow Russian journalists to stay there legally, to continue their job, etc. But what about artists?
I think, first of all, thank you very much. This is a great and very impressive exhibition, and thanks to everyone who has the courage to participate in this. We really appreciate also, we being the European institutions, I guess I have to, I can represent those. We do have different situations in different countries, member states, and many of you know this through your own fate. In Germany, we have a program and have openness towards arts people, especially under the culture minister that we have now, Claudia Roth. And I know that many artists, but also journalists, they are being treated more or less similarly. And there is an opportunity for them to either get engagements or to get humanitarian visa that we have introduced after the start of the war. Probably that's why Germany is becoming increasingly a public hub and cultural hub, also especially Berlin, and I'm very proud because Berlin is my constituency, and we have more and more powerful artists and powerful communities there. I do think that this is not enough. I do think that we should continue, and this is something that I've been doing as well, to call for humanitarian visas on the European level. This is the position of our parliament since 2018 already. But it is very difficult because the European Union does not have competences in migration policies. This is still a national decision, and we see how different various countries deal with that. From a political perspective, I could use this opportunity to advocate for one thing. We have to focus, when we talk about Russian immigration, on those groups that are really endangered. And the discussion that I've been witnessing regarding the Hungarian prime minister who wants to open the borders for everyone who wants to work for Rosatom and to build nuclear plants. And when the whole community of supposedly progressive Russian communities is saying this is the only right way of dealing with our citizens, I don't think so. The right way of dealing is the way that we've been advocating from the beginning of this war. Those who are in danger, those who are courageous, like the people who are in this room and in these exhibitions, they deserve in the first place our support and our prioritization in that. And we should not forget about them and not talk about, there is this talk, we should get all the technicians out of Russia, we should get all the nuclear power scientists out of Russia. It is not, at this particular very precarious moral point of history, it is about those who are endangered because they are courageous. And I think that we should focus on those, and the situation that we had 2 days ago with the people who have been freed and have been exchanged and swapped, something that we've been advocating for many years, despite the fact that many in Germany and worldwide were against it, because they said this is too much of a risk, we are being, there are hostages, etc., etc. I think it is important to help those people. This is our moral and this is our political necessity.
Yeah, and that's my second question and the last question. Do you expect the next waves of exchange? Is it possible?
I'm not sure how fast this would be possible. I'm not sure how much political leverage we still have. Of course, everything that was done now was focused around the figure of Krasikov. And that was the leverage that we had vis-a-vis Kremlin. I'm not sure whether new figures, there are some bot or, now it was Krasikov. I'm not aware, maybe some others who follow the situation more exactly and more in details. I'm not aware of any other names where people would be willing to do everything to hug them on the Russian soil near the plane. If we have people like that, I think we should be working on a similar combination. I don't know if we have the situation like this. And at this point, maybe I think it is important to mention, he is not an artist, but he is someone who I think is an inspiration for many of us and many artists. Alexei Navalny should have been part of what happened. We've all been working on this, that it should be possible. Now, there are others who will continue his work, and I'm very happy about every single person who was freed 2 days ago.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we have time for questions. Please raise your hand and say to whom you ask questions. All panel, all our previous speakers as well. Yeah.
Shall we go back?
Yeah, I think you may sit. Yeah. Yeah.
I come to you with the microphone.
Hello, thank you very much for organizing this event. My question is, I don't consider myself an activist. I consider myself slightly politically involved, but activists that we've talked about today, they're a huge inspiration for me. However, I've heard a lot that activists themselves, they don't like to be seen and perceived just as a source of inspiration. They're humans, they're people with needs, people with difficult history. So I wanted maybe to hear out Olga Romanova and maybe other people who were artists especially, who were persecuted for their beliefs. What is their take? How should we, a general public, perceive them? And how can their example be helpful for us, but not just reduce one person to basically the inspiration and not to see the whole story?
Yeah, the problem is I don't see Olga here. Yeah, Vladimir.
I just received a message from Olga, and
she has to leave.
Yeah, she had to leave some personal matters, so please don't address questions to her.
Yeah. But I think it's also to other artists. Maybe you can.
Well, I'm not an artist.
Okay, you are a curator.
Here, yes.
Okay. Ну, может, вы по-русски повторите вопрос для Филиппа, да, и он... Yeah. So the question was, if I understood right, well, how artists can encourage general public to... That was a question or what?
I can paraphrase it in Russian as well.
Да.
Да, здравствуйте, могу по-русски.
Да.
Мой вопрос скорее в том, как бы люди, которых мы считаем, грубо говоря, лидерами, скажем, такого политического активизма, искусства, как они бы хотели восприниматься публикой, потому что, ну, наверное, для меня это какая-то история про вдохновение. У меня на такое не хватает смелости, да. Но, однако, наверное, когда вы объект этого внимания, когда вы объект этого inspiration, наверное, вы чувствуете себя как-то иначе. И мне бы хотелось услышать людей, которых я считаю вдохновением. Хотят ли они быть моим вдохновением?
Филипп, ну это к вам вопрос, да, тогда? Вы хотите быть чем-то вдохновением?
Ну, это не вопрос выбора.
This is not a choice.
Ты просто делаешь то, что должен, и это вызывает определенную реакцию со стороны публики.
You do what you have to do, and this is creates reaction from public.
Мы все звенья этой цепи, каждый находится на своем месте. Художники чувствуют через вдохновение.
We all one chain. And artists, they feel inspiration.
Художники через вдохновение чувствуют, видят образы, которые волнуют их, а также волнуют большинство.
And artists, they see images which create something for them, but also for the majority of the people.
И главная задача художников это ретранслировать через понятные образы остальным людям.
And the main task for artists is just to transmit these images to others, which they can understand.
И в свою очередь на кого-то это действует как в свою очередь вдохновение на то, чтобы тоже высказаться или сделать что-то, поговорить с кем-то.
So and some they feel it as also a source of inspiration to do something, to tell something.
Другим людям помогает не чувствовать себя одиноким. Они видят, во-первых, то, что их единомышленники говорят открыто о всех волнующих нас проблемах.
Others see that they are not alone because other people, artists, they tell the same ideas, the shows, the same ideas, values that they can share.
И также они видят вот в тех местах, там, в постах, в соцсетях, в заметках, в СМИ многих других комментаторов, которые также высказываются, и они видят то, что людей, разделяющих их взгляды, достаточно много.
So, and they see also in social media, in media, and in posts that a lot of people who share the same values, and they see that they are not alone.
Ну и в-третьих, конечно же, искусство, оно способно кому-то открыть глаза на вещи, о которых они не знали, либо которых они не понимали.
And then, of course, the third, art can help people open eyes and to explain and to show the things that they maybe before couldn't understand, couldn't see.
Ну и в конце концов сделать какой-то жест самому. Вот так, например, после моей работы «Изнасилования» один известный галерист Марас Гельман сказал, что количество поджогов военкоматов возросло.
Да, я только не знаю, как перевести слово «военкомат», но сейчас что-нибудь придумаем.
Record center. Record center.
Yes, record center, yeah. And Russian famous gallerist Marat Gelman told that after famous Philip works «Изнасилование», it's play of word. You can, so Rasilon is very similar in Russian to sexual violence, but in Rasilon, Russia, it's Russia. You can read it in both senses, that Russia makes sexual violence over people, or someone makes sexual violence over Russia. And so Marat Gelman said that after this artwork, the number of fires in record centers so increased dramatically. That was real inspiration for people. Yes, that's the answer, I believe. Other questions? Mm-hmm.
Yes, I wonder, we are sitting here now, and I know some people are from Russia, and then I think, how do you know that it's safe here? I mean, of course we are in Holland, but well, there can be maybe spies or something like that. It's just something I'm wondering about. And the second question is, if the people who are here and they go back to Russia, what are the consequences that they are here, that they have been here, that they have spoken out themselves?
No, I think for all of us it's not possible anymore to return to Russia, because we're all public figures. We all, made very clear statements as journalists, as artists, as activists. So it's not possible. No, it's possible to cross the border, but then again, so me as an organizer of undesirable organization, is 6 years of prison. I don't want to test, does it work or not? Yes, and about, I think let me answer to this question about safety. Yeah, it's safe, but this exchange, we all have also to understand, because for Putin, the key person from Germany was Krasikov, a killer. We know that he's a killer. He was accused and imprisoned as killer, and it means that Putin can send 10 more killers or 100 more killers if later he can exchange, and then he can detain 1,000 more innocent people, and they were dying and they would die in prison. Yeah, this is the way. So that's why definitely all of us should be careful. But doesn't mean that we should scare or stop our activity. And so, no. We have to deliver the truth. We have to, to show our position. And again, that's exactly what Philippe said, to inspire other people to act.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think that it's safe here or in Germany or anywhere. It's not really like that. Like. They tried to poison Yelena Kostyuchenko, a journalist, for example, so it is not safe anywhere. And yeah, but it doesn't mean that you should stop, but please don't relax too much. Like, think what you are doing, and like who is in your home and who know your address and everything.
Thank you so much for this exhibition, for all the presentations. I would like to thank every speaker today. So my name is Paulina, and I'm also an artist. And I'm really I would like to ask you this question, all the artists present here, and also to know your opinion. Because while living here and maybe wanting to come back to see my family in Russia, I'm in two minds, because I'm also opposite. And to be honest, I'm scared, if I go out and cry out, because I have a lot of sketches from my point of view. Maybe there is some point of view how we, like artists and some persons who are journalists, can do this maybe kind of peaceful protest. Yeah, that's like being not free even here in the Netherlands, though this is a place for freedom. Being afraid. Like when mom writes a message, do not do this in your channel, try to omit these topics from your agenda. That makes so uncomfortable, maybe there is some way for those people who want to speak out here, but still want to come back to Russia to do this louder. Yeah, that can be a rhetorical question, but that's the point I would like to underline. I think that I'm not the lonely person here in this studio, in this audience. Thank you.
I'm a Dutch artist, Drage Merton, forget the name, and I often wonder, what can we do as Dutch people in the Netherlands? Is there any relation, for example, between art and politics? And I don't know whether you have seen the exhibition in The Hague Kunstmuseum, True Color, organized by Akzo Nobel Art Foundation. And a while ago, there was a written report, I think in NRC, that Akzo Nobel still continues activities in Russia, paying taxes in Russia, supporting Kremlin. So why shouldn't we send a letter, an email to Akzo Nobel that we just think it's disgusting?
Some other questions?
Some other question? No? Great. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. I believe it was a great event. Thank you very much to all speakers. Vladimir, want to say something?
Since there's no question, we still have time, right? Do we have time? Yeah. I really invite you to explore the exhibition. It's held in multiple locations around the Balie, in the Bon Foyer upstairs. In Grote Zaal. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Yeah. Oh yeah, 1 week in Netherlands, and I'm good in Dutch. Yeah. And in a green room, as I call it, what's the name? Salon. Salon. Yeah, and each of the artwork, it has the explication behind it. So scan the QR code, and you will find the explication from either us or the artist to like dive deeply into the context of the artwork. And please follow the newsfeed because we are about to announce some more cool events. Some of them we're already aware of. It will be a screening of the latest movie by Andrei Lashak, and he will come himself to for the Q&A session here, late August. Then we have famous writer and artist Lenore Garalik. She will come to Amsterdam to present one of her newest books and to talk to you as well. Please support artists if you want, if you like the artworks. For instance, we just launched an online marketplace, Prometheus.shop, and the pop-up store is at the entrance of the building. You can find some art from the artists that are participating in our exhibitions, and it's actually a real good quality. I tested it myself. Yeah.
Me too.
And thank you again for your interest, because when we were thinking of organizing such kind of event, like a public talk, we never knew if it will attract interest of Dutch people. But the Balie insisted that it should be an event in English. So we were aware that we could find like 100 people, Russian-speaking crowds in Amsterdam to invite to such exhibition. We wanted to hold it in Russian, but the Balie said, no, we should make it in English because it should be interesting for local crowd. I never believed that it will be like almost full hall, and now I'm seeing it, and that makes me feel that we're doing something right. And thank you all for your interest.
Thank you.